Welcome to Chattin Out Loud with your host, me, Jess Chattin. And today we have Bailey Porter. She is a good friend and she has a journey that needs to be shared with the world. And so we are going to have a chat with Bailey today. Hello, Bailey.
Hey, Jess. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. We have been friends for a very long time. Since the beginning. And now as we're growing older, not old, I don't want to say older because we're not old. Now as we're growing, we don't see each other as much. You're done with school. Finally, I felt like that was forever.
Yeah, school took a long, long time. So I finished my master's at Liberty the year before last. Wow, that seems like a long time ago, but it really wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
And went to work, and then now I'm working, so it takes up a lot of time.
Yeah. So what are you doing now in your job? Because you did a lot of school.
Yeah. So I spent 4 years working on my master's degree in clinical mental health counseling at Liberty University.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm a counselor at Live Well Counseling in Roanoke, Virginia.
Okay.
I specialize in trauma and EMDR, which is eye movement desensitization reprocessing therapy. I took additional training for that. And you see, pretty busy. I see 20 to 25 clients a week. I do in-person and virtual therapy, 2 days in the office and 3 days at home.
Now, I have to tell our listeners something.
Okay. Yeah, tell them, Jess.
I'm going to tell them.
Let them know.
So, Bailey, and because this cracks me up so much, and I think you know what I'm going to say. So, when Bailey was finishing up her last days of school, she asked if she could give me and Chris a compatibility test.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I was an assignment for school to practice premarital counseling on a couple. And I was like, well, since I was older than all the other students, the younger, because, most people go to graduate school right after undergrad. And so the students were younger and a lot of them are the age to be getting married. But all my friends are already married. So I had to give premarital counseling, the practice test to somebody that's already married. So Jess so kindly volunteered for her and her husband to give them this compatibility test. I don't know, Jess, if you want to share the results.
I do want to share the results. We were nowhere to be compatible.
And I don't know if that was operator error on my part, or
probably not,
or if there's a flaw with the test. But I'm pretty sure they're compatible. They've been married a long time. How long have you guys been married?
Almost 19 years.
19 years? Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what happened there, but I did get to practice using the test.
It was pretty comical.
Yeah.
Just because we've been married and we did endure our own journey, and I endured my own trauma, and Chris, he had his, and just us coming together, it was very comical.
Yeah, I hated to get those results. I'd be like, well, you guys have been married so long and you're not compatible.
I think you delayed on giving us those results.
Yeah, I was probably I really don't want to tell them this. I'm like, is this a fluke or
I think there was one time when I asked you and you told me, Jess, it's okay. It's just a test or whatever.
Just don't worry about it. It's not that big a deal.
You guys are not compatible. And I was like, I literally thought this may surprise people, but my ADHD brain went to, should we really be together? Should Chris and I divorce? Clearly we're not compatible for one another.
Well, it's a little late now. Well, it's a little late now, and God can do anything. So
yes,
God can change everything. So I don't think it matters what this
test doesn't matter. We've been through our journey, we've conquered, and we're doing good now.
Yeah, I think that's really you can even take anything anybody tells you with a grain of salt, because you know you and you know your life and you know who you are, and nobody can tell you anything different than what you know with your heart and their
Right.
own eyes, right?
You're correct.
And so you know yourself better than any therapist or any stupid test.
We do. We do. So why don't we talk about ADHD today?
Okay.
All right. So, what is it like being friends with somebody who has ADHD like myself?
I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. So there's like a really good piece of empathy that comes from having a friend that has a different neurotype. So I've gotten into this paradigm shift kind of thing called the neurodiversity paradigm, where it kind of is like viewing people with different like brain types, like so ADHD, autism, can even be bipolar disorder or OCD, like different people with a different brain type is just like it's just a difference and not a negative. It's just a different way to think. It's not bad, it's not wrong, it's not really necessarily disorder. It's just a different way to think.
You know, Kaylee, our oldest, she has been using that word a lot. Like, so she has been recently been getting tested for like ADHD and all that stuff, and the testing that I never had as a child. And she has been using that word a lot. And so, like, what is the definition for that neurodiversity? Like, can you talk to people and explain, like, kind of what that is?
Yeah, so I'm kind of going through that journey myself, and it's really interesting. So, neurodiversity just like kind of encompasses um like a difference from, so the opposite of, so you kind of understand it in terms of the opposite. So the opposite of neurodivergent or neurodiversity is the word allistic, which means a person that has no mental health issue, which was like very few people if you really think about it, right?
Yeah.
It's not like very few people. And so what happens with the neurodiversity paradigm is there's usually like a lot of what's called ableism, which is people that are like um not purposefully but subconsciously biased towards people that have, say, ADHD or any other type of difference. um it's like a cognitive bias to people that are just that think differently than them. And all of those people can relate to the idea of neurodiversity because it separates this group of people that think a little bit differently from people that think, which would be the neurodivergent, from people that are, say, allistic, that think like more vanilla or generically, or my opinion, boring. Okay, so there's like boring or there's like spicy, right?
Yeah.
So, that's not a judgment call. That's just, I'm a therapist. So, and I have just been diagnosed with ADHD and autism myself. So it's personal to me, and it's important to me that, people are, accepted for who they truly are.
So you said that you just got diagnosed with ADHD and autism. So how does that make you feel? Like,
Yeah, it's like really a good, it's a good explanation. It doesn't really change a whole lot of things for me, but it really is a good explanation. And it kind of helps me. Like when I first found out, I was like, well, who's going to understand? I was like, I would have called Jess. I was like, I got ADHD. I had no idea, even though it took me like 7 years to get through my undergraduate degree. Like, well, why didn't I notice there was a problem there? Okay. So I called Jess and I'm like, Jess, I have ADHD. And she's like, that's great.
yeah, I mean, when I was diagnosed, you know, it kind of makes you think. And for me, I was thinking longer because it like you're able to process like, oh, that's why I was the way I was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so it kind of like puts everything into perspective. Like, but it also makes you like, there are some times when I can be calm and like, okay, calm the crazy, calm down. Like, let's do this as an adult, like professional, like, I don't, there's still like when I'm like, oh, hey, Billy, we're wearing the same color today. I did not realize that.
Yeah.
But, like the squirrel thing. But yeah, so like, how did you take that news? Like, how was that conversation with your doctor?
Yeah, so I went to a place called Valley Autism Assessments in Roanoke, and she was great. It was a really good conversation. They give you, if you get assessed, like a neuropsych assessment is kind of what it is, and they give you a what's called the WAIS, which is a IQ test. They give you several other measures. They give you what's called the ADHD, which is the autism assessment, and then they give you measures to send to your family to rate you on several different items. And then they compare your results to your family's results to see if they match. So if you think the same thing about yourself that your family thinks about you, mine was totally off. So, so you can talk about the results of these different tests with your provider. And it's like a 15-page packet you get at the end, and you have 1 3-hour meeting where you go through all the results with your provider. And so that was a really interesting conversation because it revealed things about me that I had wondered. I'm like, what is causing these problems in my life? Like, I had just been wondering and wondering and beating myself in the head about, because I am a counselor and I'm like, none of these things fit, right?
Mhm.
You don't get taught a lot about ADHD in a counseling degree. You don't get taught a lot about autism in a counseling degree because those disorders require like higher level assessments. You can diagnose them legally in Virginia with just a licensed professional counselor license, but to be accepted, I think in disability or Medicaid, you have to have like a psychologist sign off on them.
Mhm.
I think so. This higher level assessment is what's like more acceptable.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you did all the the testing and you were diagnosed and like we grew up and I know we've had these conversations. Like we grew up where ADHD just wasn't a thing. Like you behaved, you got disciplined, and now we live in an age where like my kids obviously inherited some ADHD. And, when they act out, I have to take a step back and think to myself, okay, is this really something bad that needs to be disciplined appropriately? Or is this just their ADHD?
Yeah, yeah. Like, where's the line between like, punishment, correction, support?
Hmm.
Do they need to be supported through this, or does this need to be punished? And that's sort of like an internal dialogue, right? That has to come for each of us, because it's like, is this something I need to like repent of as like, sin, like as a Christian? Like, is this something I'm doing like what's wrong? Or is this something like I need to give myself grace about? Is this something I need to correct? Do I need more supports in my environment? Like, do I need to ask for help? Is how do I correct my own mistakes?
Hmm.
And how do I correct, like, even, especially with children, right? But it's the same process even within yourself.
Yeah.
It's hard to tease out these pieces internally, and externally with other people that struggle. It's the same kind of process, right? So, discerning all of that is difficult, and that's the piece that the assessment really helped with. It broke down um like a thing called like social cognition. It broke down the intelligence piece, the processing speed. Like, my processing speed was like low average, and I was like,
Mine's probably like negative.
I was like, that was like really surprising to me, because I was like, I could figure things out like better and deeper, I think, than most people, but it takes me longer and I'm more thoughtful.
That's one of my worst attributes. Like I hate that it takes me years to process.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, like, I had a meeting recently, and, like, the meeting was great and fine, and, like, when I left, I was like, "Man, I wish I would have asked this," or, "Why didn't I think of this? Why didn't I think of that to say?" And so it kinda always makes me feel like, "Oh, I gotta have another meeting again because I wasn't able to process the first time."
Mhm.
And so that is kind of very it can be frustrating.
Yeah, like, what happened like, afterwards, it's like, "Oh, this is kinda what happened. This is what I could have said or could have asked about." And it's like, "Well, I'd really like this more information." And it's like, "Well, that opportunity is already passed." It's like, "This would have been great,"
And then, like, it's like that let it go thing. And then it's like, well, you can't let it go because there's more to the story. You want to like try to, but yeah, I hate that about myself. I just hate that I cannot process, or I'm not a quick thinker either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it was explained to me that that's really a big part of an ADHD profile is that the intelligence is high, but the processing speed can be low.
Hmm.
And you know, it just it can add to more thoughtful thoughts.
Yeah.
Right? If they could be deeper, they can be more creative, they can be more well-rounded, like thorough.
Yeah. Like, for instance, like I'm a really deep gift giver. Like, I love giving gifts. Like, you know, like, just like really thoughtful like gifts. But when it comes time to processing, like, as much time as I put into giving a gift, and if somebody's not going to react the way I want them to react, that's kind of like my OCD slipping in there, then I get offended. Like, I get so upset and hurt because I put so much thought and energy into, and the reaction that I did not get is because they're not processing it as much time as I'd put into it.
Yeah, actually I have a gift for you. I thought
That's
forgot about it. That's why I brought my bag over here. See if I can pull it out.
giving me a gift, Bailey.
It's just a small gift. This is your self-care package.
Ooh, oh my gosh. Because of stress. I love it. I love it. Yes. Definitely lost baggage. Oh, okay. Yes, I love it. And then we have what is this? Oh, more masks. Oh, I'm gonna have to do those tonight. Steam eye mask. Is this hot?
Yes, it's hot. You take it out of the package and you sleep with it. You can use it to go to sleep. It makes your eyes warm and it covers your face like when you go to sleep so you can be in the dark and have a warm face.
Ooh, and this is like lavender.
Yes, that one's really good.
Ooh, I love that.
And then this last one is kind of funny.
What is
It's so that one may have come out of my junk pile because I did not want to use it because it's a snail. I read it. It's like a snail and it's in Chinese.
snail collagen essence mask?
Yeah, I wasn't feeling the snail, so I gave it away.
Do I look like a snail, Bailey?
Well, I don't know if you want to put snail on your face or not. That might get regifted again. I don't know.
Is anything about me, my life, snailish?
Not really.
No.
Not really. But
Well, thank you.
honestly, I did not think of you when I thought snail. I just thought it kind of went with the rest of the theme.
I love it. Well, thank you. There's so much gifts. And that's another thing too, like with my ADHD, like I really don't know how to say thank you. Like with gifts, like when people like compliment me or give me gifts, and for me it's just like, and I don't know if that was because of the trauma that I endured growing up or whatever it was, but I just don't like I say thank you like so awkwardly. Like,
Does it feel awkward inside?
yes.
Well, it seems okay.
Yeah.
It seems okay to me.
Well, I am a little awkward when it comes to
It's okay. Sometimes we feel like awkward when it looks okay on the outside. I think there's a masking piece also to ADHD.
yeah.
That like there's like an outward like things look fine, but they
Mhm.
feel discomforting, discomfortable. That's not a word.
Discomforted.
They don't feel comfortable. But they don't feel comfortable inside, but outside it still looks okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I say thank you, but inside it's like,
Yeah, it's like I cringle up, like I'm like, "Ooh," I freeze, like,
yeah.
"Say thank you." I don't know. Do you guys ever have any type of way? Do you guys ever feel that kind of way? Anyway, I don't know. But so yeah, so how do you so what are you doing now that you have your ADHD and your autism? Like what does that look like and how are you managing it?
Yeah, so I have a workbook. I got a really nice workbook. I think it's just called like Managing ADHD and Autism. It's this nice workbook, and it takes you all the way from the beginning of getting a diagnosis all the way through. Um, even in the back, it has like steps for even like starting a business and all of this. Like, it's very straightforward and step by step, like easy to read, and has places to write in. I mean, it's a very good workbook written by somebody else that has the same diagnosis. So, I thought it was pretty interesting. And, I have signed up for virtual reality, therapy for myself,
Okay.
which is very interesting. I'm gonna see how it goes, see if I can recommend it to other people. I don't know whether to recommend it to people right now or not because I haven't tried it, but I signed up for the initial interview. Um, my hope is to do some of this stuff for myself and then be able to pass it on to my clients, because a lot of clients that have autism and ADHD prefer a therapist that has had autism and ADHD
Mhm.
because they can understand like what it's actually like.
So what is virtual reality counseling?
So it's like they send you a headset, like an Oculus.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's actually an Oculus or like another brand,
Uh-huh.
but you put it on your eyes and they do some kind of exercises. I don't know. I really am kind of not sure. I have to go through this initial meeting. They said they took my insurance, so
Do they like send you a headset?
they send you a headset. You rent the headset for like $25. Is all it was.
Does insurance cover
Some insurances it does cover. Do cover it. So I don't know. I'm gonna check it out.
that? Yeah.
Some of it was like social skills training.
Mhm.
Some of it was like task management. Um,
Is there like an app?
yeah, yeah. Like I think it goes with. I'm sure there'll be an app to download to go um with the Oculus thing.
Yeah.
And so I don't. I really don't know what. I really don't know a whole lot about it. So once I get more into it, I'll be able to like recommend yay or nay.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try it out because I think it would be really helpful to people that don't necessarily like get a whole lot of like regular talk therapy, because sometimes that can be frustrating for people, especially if they're with somebody who doesn't quite understand
Yeah.
like neurodiversity. Like it can be very frustrating and like to not really get a whole lot out of that.
Yeah.
And so I want to be able to be like supportive and helpful for people that, maybe they get a little bit out of talk therapy, but they'd like to try something to support that therapy, and then um be able to increase their skills.
Yeah. Yeah, cuz Kaylee she she's going through something right now where it's hard for her to like get her work done. And I understand that because I it took me almost 9 years to graduate college. Took you like 7 years.
7 years from undergrad, yeah.
Yeah, and that was a long time. And it's frustrating because I'm used to it now, and so I kind of understand like, okay, this is what I need to do, this is what I need to focus on, so I've trained myself, but like, then with Kaylee in today's society, like there are more resources available.
Yes.
And so like, how do I find these?
Oh, there's a good one I want
Oh,
to tell you about.
show
Have you heard of FocusMate?
I have not.
So FocusMate is it's either I think there's an app. I've just used the web application, but FocusMate is a online website, or maybe there's an app too, where you can go and you can schedule a time to work with a buddy. So it's like a body doubling where you um you can click what you want to do. Like if you want to clean the closet, you can pick physical activity, and there'll be somebody matched with you that's also doing physical activity. So somebody will be like doing their dishes, and you can be cleaning out your closet and be on video with each other.
Really?
Yeah. And
What?
so
What is this app called?
Focus Mate.
Somebody actually, I'm glad you brought that up because Focus Mate.
Yes.
I'm glad you brought that up because I just saw on Facebook the other day. Hold on, Focus Mate. Is it this?
No.
Is it on the Apple Store?
Let me see. Focus Mate.
Or is it this?
It's a little Chinese stuff. I don't think that's right.
Or is it just a website?
It might just be a website. This is what it looks like.
Okay, it's a website. All right, so let me see.
So you can mark on there whether you want your bubble audio on or off. So you're talking, but you can see each other. You set goals at the beginning of the session, and then you have the session. At the end of the session, you talk back to the other person and say whether you met your goals or not. So you can make an appointment with somebody who's also doing paperwork, or you can make an appointment with somebody who's also doing physical work, or you can make an appointment with somebody who's practicing music. You could both turn your mics off, and you can both practice. One person can practice the trombone, and the other person can play the piano. Turn off your audio, and then at the end of the session, you can talk about how you met your goals. But I thought that was very good for ADHD. So you would have somebody to help encourage you to get things done.
Yeah, like I had no idea. So I saw a Facebook post the other day, and it was a woman in Lynchburg, and she said, what did she say? She said, "Do I have anybody that I can pay to be my body double so that I can clean my house?" Mm-hmm. And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's like, that makes sense because anytime the house is dirty, I cannot clean it unless Chris, because the kids, they're not, cleaning the house, they don't want to do that. So they're just to stay in their room. But like, I work better when Chris is home and I could see him and he's close by.
Yes.
And I get a lot more done.
Yes. If there's somebody else in the room or somebody else, you can at least say, "Hey, blah, 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 blah," like talking to a little bit, or somebody else is there. And it's like,
yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So that's the kind of app it is. There's other body doubling apps too, or websites. There's other ones too. So that's a good thing to look into if you need help with that kind of a thing. You can schedule sessions for like 25 minutes up to like an hour and a half, I think.
Thanks. I appreciate that resource.
Hopefully somebody else can use it.
What is it?
Focusmate.
Focusmate.com. Okay. I'm going to have to reach out to their people.
Hey.
Like, it blows my mind. Like, even at 40, I'm still learning things about ADHD.
Oh, yeah. My mind is completely blown because I had no idea I had it. And so now my mind is, which I should have known, but my mind is completely blown with like how things have completely changed and what all different things are out there.
And it's not, it's not really on, just ADHD. It's like, are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? Like, that's the firm foundation, like, to what type of person you are. Like, Chris, he is full-blown introvert and I'm full-blown extrovert. Like, you couldn't put two more people together just like that.
Well, yeah, but he's a pretty good support, don't you think?
He is a very good supporter. Yeah, I love him.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that whole body, man, I'm just like blown away. So what about like your husband and your parents? Like, how are they?
Yeah.
How do they acknowledge and encourage your new journey?
So my husband is great. He encouraged me to get tested. He encouraged and
Now, did he see anything like when you guys got married? Like, did he notice anything or?
well, I mean, we're both Fruit Loops, and that's why we get along. So, and he doesn't really care about a diagnosis or anything. Like, he's very like old school. Like, does not care like what you call something. He just cares like if we get along and that we're happy.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't. He's like, whatever you want. Just if it makes you happy to put a name to it, that's fine. We could pay for a assessment, whatever you want to do.
Oh, that's good though.
Yeah, he has a good attitude about it.
Yeah.
So he encouraged me to get an assessment if that's what would make me happy. And I was like, yeah, I kind of need to, right? Because of the nature of my work, like I need to have a label on it, right? So to make it clear. And so he was very supportive of that. And when he got the assessments, I'll tell you this. He's like, I love it. Doesn't matter if you have a disorder, baby. You're so quirky and sweet, and I love all the differences about you. It's so amazing. I was like, baby, those are disorders. he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, all the weird stuff I do that you like so much and think is amazing. I'm like, most people think that's like weird or something. He's like, oh, it doesn't matter to me.
But I think like for me, learning and being diagnosed like with some things, like it just made my life so much easier because like it put into perspective like, oh, that's why I am the way I am. Oh, like
Yeah, definitely.
and like my OCD, like I have OCD and I'm not shy about that. And like I just remember like before getting on medication for anything, like I just remember like, oh my gosh, like I was so bossy to Chris, like, and my husband, like, who's supposed to be so supportive. And that's why he ran out a couple of times, like, just ran out to the house, ran out to his mom's because I was a little bit too much, but I didn't know anything. Like,
Yeah, if you don't know, you don't know. And then when you do, it's kind of empowering.
yeah,
Feel like, oh, well, I have this control, a little more control, knowing that like this part of me is like different than what I thought it should be.
yeah.
It's like I can have a little more control over it or a little more just awareness.
Or just better understanding of like why I am the way I am. And, but now, and then I'm sure you can relate to this. Like, once you start the medication phase, like, it takes a long time to figure out the right medicine for you.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to take medication for ADHD. I'm going to ask and see what they could do for me. Hopefully, I can take something. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, like, I treat, so like when you have ADHD and like anxiety, I get the anxiety treated because it also plays into effect of my social anxiety. So if I get the anxiety and the depression treated, then I'm good with my ADHD and don't need meds for ADHD. But some people don't need it, and it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I will talk to them about what is helpful, but um it's just it is part of the journey, right? It's another stop, to go in and check and see, what can you do? And it's nice to be able to have a perspective of being open to those supports. And that's something I really do like to work with people on, is being open to all the different supports that you can get. Because a lot of people are like, I don't want to do medication, or like, I don't want to try this route or this route, and are like closed off.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I really advocate for people just to try medication for different things, or to try this support or that support and see what works, right?
Yeah.
So I'm open to this journey for myself, and just to try different things, and if something doesn't work, it's fine, just try something else.
Yeah.
And all of that is totally fine, because you can't like, healing is never a straight path, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a mountain. A mountain, you want to go up the mountain like this, but it's really more kind of like it's kind of like, you go up, you go back a little, you take a little turn around, like the path is kind of crooked and backwards and around.
Like sliding down.
Yeah, you're like sliding down, like the path is not straight up the mountain.
Right.
So, and being aware of that is really helpful to me. Being because of my job, like knowing that is really helpful to me because, and that I maybe like, going around a big mountain or something, around a hill or something, like all of those types of, uh, just the thought of not having to go directly and being discouraged when something doesn't work out correctly,
Yeah.
um, is really helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that plays a big part and perspective into just like when you get the clear picture about everything about you. Which I've taken since 2013. That's where my journey began, is just, figuring out what I had and learning how to grow. And that, because like 2013 from the past, like I just had to process. Like for me, I processed like every detail in my life that I did.
Like everything up until then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like that was a lot. Like, oh, I probably lost that friendship because my OCD, or, like I wasn't going to give in, or
was there some guilt associated with that?
there was a lot of guilt, like a lot of guilt. And, it's just with medication, I'm able to, just move forward. That's all I have to do. Like, and just not worry about what others think of me and just focus on being who I am.
Yeah, look into this neurodiversity paradigm with Kaylee.
Yeah.
Thinking of it in that way has really helped me a lot, and I think that's kind of like what's going around right now is like looking at things. It's just really a difference and not a problem.
Yeah.
And kind of expecting other people to be to recognize the fact that the diagnosis is sometimes just a difference. Like you wouldn't say to somebody in a wheelchair or somebody with crutches or something, you wouldn't say, well, you have like such and such problem, like you just have to get up and walk like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't just expect them to like change.
Yeah.
You would accept they have like a different ability.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So after you graduated college finally, then you started working. So how is the job?
The job's good. The job is good. I love my work. At Live Well Counseling, it is an amazing job. I have an amazing supervisor and amazing coworkers. They are all really good counselors and really good people. We see Christian clients, we see young children, we see teenagers, we see adults, we see a vast um, diversity of clients. People from different backgrounds, different places. I see a lot of telehealth clients, people from all over Virginia. Um, you don't have to be a Christian to come and see us. We see all different kinds of people. I see a lot of people for trauma and EMDR. So
What are some situations that you see a lot of? Like,
childhood sexual abuse.
mm,
A lot of childhood sexual abuse. That is apparently way more common than people are aware of.
yeah.
And I see it mostly in adults. I see more adults than children, and children, I don't know if they just don't talk about it or I just don't see that much of that population, but there are lots of adults walking around that had experienced childhood sexual abuse.
I know when I worked as a counselor, or a substance abuse counselor, like I would read these files of these drug addicts, and the reason why they became a drug addict was because at the age of 6 or 7 or 8, they were sexually abused. And drugs were the only way to get rid of it, so to say.
Yeah.
And it's really sad.
Yeah, it is sad. And a lot of the work I do with EMDR is going back and processing that trauma. And people find a lot of relief through that therapy and are able to move on in some form, way, shape, or fashion, and not be haunted by some of those memories. Because people really do get haunted by that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot. Well, Bailey, I think we are coming to a close. I enjoyed having a conversation with you today. Did you enjoy it?
Yes, Jess, you're awesome.
We'll have to have you on again.
I'll come back.
Yeah, come back anytime.
I have lots of stuff I could talk to you about.
We haven't even unloaded.
Thanks, Jess.
You're welcome. All right. Well, thanks for chatting with us today at Chattin Out Loud.